Hello, this is Ms. Dabnick, and we're going to be simplifying with a distributive property. So before we begin, let's talk about the problem that we're going to focus on today, and it is 3 times the quantity of 2x minus 1. Now what you need to know about the distributive property is that it really is just focusing on finding area. So the first method we're going to show is the area model. We are going to be multiplying the length 3 times the quantity 2x minus 1 using our algebra tiles. Alright, so for that I have a product mat. The word product means multiplication. So to start off with, we have our length of 3, 1, 2, 3, and our width was 2x minus 1. So here I have 1x, another x, and a negative 1 piece. Now to find the area, I have to fill in the inside. The inside should be either a square or a rectangle. So when I multiply, I do 1 times x, which is just 1x. I do 1 times x again, and that's 1x. 1 times x again, and that is 1x. Notice that when I'm doing 1 times x, I'm not filling in a 1 piece, and I'm not filling in a big x squared because it just wouldn't fit. We're trying to find a rectangle here that would represent the area. 1 times x again is 1x. I could also just do 3 times x, so I know that this is 3x's right here. And then 3 times this negative 1 will not be positive 1, but it will actually be negative 3. Now that I have the area, I can take my dimensions off of the product map because the dimensions helped me get to the area. But this is actually the answer to my area problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x, take away 3. Now let's just sketch that into our notebook. So for our product map, we had 3 as our length, 1, 2, and 3. And then we had an x right here, another x right here, and a negative 1 piece right here. So this is 2x take away 1. Now we filled it in by multiplying. And then these negative 1 pieces times 3 would be 3 negative pieces. Make sure you shade them in to show that they're negative. All right, so the answer to our problem is 6 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all positive, so 6x stays positive, and 3 times the negative 1 was a negative 3. All right, moving right along. So if the area model takes too long, because sometimes we won't have these nice friendly numbers, we can use something called the generic rectangle. Now the generic rectangle is basically a way of doing the area model but not to scale, meaning you basically are imagining your like terms together in that for the area. So you just draw a box here. 3 was the length. 2x minus 1 was the one at the top. So then you do 3 times 2x. Remember, we had 6 x's on our map. So instead of drawing out these 6 x's, we're just going to write 6x. And then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So instead of drawing out those tiles, we can just not do it to scale and say that is negative 3. The generic rectangle, it can be very helpful when you do not want to draw out all the little tile pieces, especially when you do something with bigger numbers. All right, moving along to our second method, or third method actually, and that method is called decomposition. So what this actually means is 3 groups of 2x minus 1. So if I just want to talk about 2x minus 1, what I'm really talking about is these pieces right here. You have 2 x's and a negative 1 piece. So let's just draw that. 2 x's and a negative 1 piece. But you don't only just have one group of that, you have 3 groups of it, so we're going to draw it another time. And we'll draw it one more time because we have 3 groups of that. Now decomposition means you're just looking at this and decomposing it, meaning that this is 2x take away 1. This is also 2 x's and take away 1. This is 2 x's and take away 1. So when you add up what you have, you have 6 x's, -1, -1, and -1 would mean you have -3 combined. So the answer to our problem is 6x take away 3. And the last method is called the arrow method. So this isn't actually a method because it does not mathematically show you what to do. It's just a way to remember that the 3 is being distributed to the 2x. So 3 times 2x is 6x, and then 3 times -1 is -3. Now the arrow method is just a way, again, to remember what you're doing. To show you're working on this, you would probably want to write the 3 times 2x minus the 3 times a 1. And that's how you get 6x take away 3. All right, so now you know distributive property is really just an area problem. You're finding length times width to get to the final answer, which is 6x minus 3. And now you have 4 different ways of finding the answer to a distributive property problem. Thank you for watching.